Hey, how's it going? Coach Kyle here, and I'm making this video specifically for a client of mine, but it's going to be public on YouTube because many people will be able to benefit from this topic. And it's how to do a track workout. And this is a runner in Hong Kong on Hong Kong Island, who we've been working together. Let's see, for about 4 months now. We've done a few 5Ks, and things are going quite well, I think. So he did a couple 5Ks, and now we're ready to focus on the China Coast half. And we have, oh boy, it's 4 months maybe ish. So we're going to start doing some dedicated track workouts. And prior to this, I had him doing workouts like some fartleks, some tempo runs, some 1K repeats, but they weren't super structured. I wanted him to kind of do them more casually, is the word, by effort. But now we're going to try to focus more on goal paces, a goal for the half, and I think we found a track that he can do these on. It took a little bit of digging in his area, and it's time to do some workouts. And I want to use some examples. We'll probably start off with 3 times 1K, and I wonder how long is, where is that? What's the track he found? Let's see. A 1.3 kilometer track. Nice, that's really good. So it's a Happy Valley Sports Ground. Happy Valley in Hong Kong. So with a 1K track, that's real nice, because you can kind of, with 1K repeats, you can do 1K, and then when you hit 1K, you can just jog the remainder of the lap, basically. So how to do these? We're going to use the example of 3 times 1K at, a moderate. For him, it's going to be about a 4:30 to 4:45 kilometer pace, and then a 1-minute walk jog. So when you do this, it's very important to hold back for the first 1 or 2 reps, and so the effort will get progressively harder as you go through the reps, but the split should be about the same. So if he's doing 3 times 1K at 4:45, for example, 4:40, perfectly would be like 3:35 to 4:40 to ish, plus or minus 5 seconds for all 3. The first one, super easy. The middle one, little effortful, not fine. And then the final third, the final one, will be a little more brisk. But 2 months from now, he might be doing 5, maybe 6 of those 1K repeats, and it should feel relatively the same, just extra, more repeats. But the important thing is how to kind of track and gauge your effort and your speed while doing these. And typically they're 400-meter tracks, 2.5 laps around. And what you can do in cases like that is you can, really just look at your watch every 400 meters, maybe every 500 meters on this type of track. And if, in his case, if he goes through 500 meters in 2:15, 2:20, that's good. You can kind of maintain that for the second half of the K. And, the first half should be holding back. The second half, you might want to, you might put a little effort into it, but if you can hit that 1K in 4:40, that's fantastic. So you can use it. So GPSs will sometimes not be super accurate on constant turns, because they're not constantly pinging you. There's a little bit of lapse there. Now, what I've noticed is, like, my GPS does a pretty good job of accurately recording laps around a track, but some of my clients, it's not perfect. So what they do in that case is they'll still use their GPS. I have a little bit of tan line there, maybe. They'll still use their GPS, but they will manually, and I prefer manual lapping with workouts like this, they'll manually hit the lap button when they do a 1 mile repeat, for example. But if they did it on a track and it's not a perfect measurement, it might it might say like 1.1 or 0.98 or something. But I know the time on there was for 4 laps around the track. And that's kind of a good way to do it is, and when you log it, when you upload it to Strava or Garmin, who cares, if you were doing 1 mile repeats, but the lap button, the lap list says 0.98 and 0.1 and 1.1 for the 3 1 mile repeats. It doesn't matter. So that's a good way to do it. Now, if you're doing them on an open road, and I prefer to do my 1 mile repeats, I have a park and it's exactly a mile around on a bike path. It's perfect. So what I do there is I will use my GPS and I'll have the lap distance, and then I'll have the average, the lap, I'll have the average pace for that lap. So, I hit start and I go, and I'll usually wait about a minute to check my pace. And usually I slow it down a little bit because I start pretty quickly. But if I'm going for 640 miles for my 1 mile repeats, I'll look at my average pace, my average lap pace, or current average lap pace, or whatever it's called. And I'll try to keep that around 640. So if I hit go and I wait a minute to look at it and it says 630 or 625, I'm going to dial it back a little bit. I'll check a minute later and it might say 638. I'll check it 3/4 of the way through, it might say 642. So I'll speed up just a tiny bit. And then when I get to mile, ding, hit the lap button. 640, perfect, Kyle. And then I'll jog for 2 minutes, and then I'll hit the lap button again and repeat. So that's kind of how I go through the process of executing and monitoring my repeat workouts. And if you have any questions or comments, drop them below, DM me, email me, and I'm always welcome, always looking to chat with runners all over the world. So that's what I got. Let me know if you have any questions, and as always, you keep running, I'll keep coaching.